Will you be showing it or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Gurudeva Prabhupada.
So, one disciple of Srila Narayana Maharaj wrote to, made a CD of CDs, one of most of our paintings that we did for Srila Gurudeva, and a CD of some of the paintings we did for Srila Prabhupada. So the Sunday will be showing that, and if you can face that way, you can see it, and I'll speak along with that CD. And by that, I'll share some of his stories and philosophy through the artwork. Is there any way you could be so that So the name of the art that we made for Gurudeva is called Bhakti art, so he's just putting that on the art we did for Prabhupada as well. And there are 3 sections: Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we'll start with Bhagavad Gita. I think it was Indira, or was it Amy, who asked, please talk about how we can get from this world to that world, from where we are now to transcendence. So we'll try to do that through the painting. First we sing the painting so quickly, and then we try to make them go one by one. Right, or something?
Yep.
One by one, and then we can explain them separately. She sits on the chair and
I'm in the way.
And everybody speaks through? Okay. So this is a painting we did for the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which shows the relationship of guru and disciple. And that relationship is the beginning of spiritual life. Because without material senses, that means these eyes, nose, touch, sense of touch, taste, we cannot experience the Supreme Lord. We only experience matter. So therefore, God Himself comes in the form looking like a material body. That is, the spiritual master is not before God, but is a manifestation of God. And he brings with him the powers of God, and he's also a personal associate of God, or Krishna, in the spiritual world. That is, he's a playmate of Krishna. And this playmate and manifestation of Krishna, manifestation of Nityananda, manifestation of Balaram, come to this material world in order to make us qualified so that He can take us to that transcendental realm. He calls it picking closed flowers and nourishing them so that they bloom and become offerable to Radha and Krishna in the spiritual world of Goloka Vrindavan. So there's another manifestation of Krishna who you see in the heart of both the Guru and the disciple. And that manifestation is called the Supersoul, or Paramatma. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that in his four-armed form of Paramatma, he's situated in the hearts of all beings. He's also situated in every atom. Andantaristam Paramanu Shayantarastam. He's greater than the greatest. He breathes out millions of universes just by one breath. and inhales millions of universes by his inhalation. So he's that big. And he also can become so small that he fits in the atom and he fits in the heart of the body, and he also fits in the heart of our soul. So that same super soul is externally manifested as the Guru. So you can see the Guru is in the heart, the super soul is in the heart of Guru and in the heart of the disciple. So everything that the bona fide Guru, the self-realized Guru, tells us is what Krishna wants him to tell us. He doesn't make up anything by any limited sense perception or limited mental speculation, but he's like the mouthpiece of Krishna. So you can see that the Paramatma, like his hand is raised. I don't know if you can see that from where you are. His hand is raised, and the Guru's hand is raised. So Krishna in the heart of the disciple, we can't hear what God is telling us because our ears are imperfect. Even things that are around us we misunderstand. Like if we're waiting for somebody, for some beloved, husband or wife, girlfriend or boyfriend, and then we hear some rustling leaves. You think, oh, is he coming? Was she coming? No, she's not coming. So our hearing deceives us all the time. Or we think, did I just hear that person criticize me behind my back to that other person? And we get all paranoid for nothing, because actually they were talking about something else. So our ears are always deceiving us. So we can't hear what the speaker is hearing anything on the transcendental platform. So we can't hear God speaking to us, so he comes outside in the form of the Guru to tell us anything in a way that we can easily hear. So that if we want to be connected with that supreme absolute reservoir of all existence, then we have to connect ourselves to his manifestation as the spiritual master. Now you see on the altar, just like in Panchali, do you call it Panchali or Radha? Okay. So on Radha Dasi's altar, you see the deities of Radha and Krishna. But similarly, on the altar in the painting, you see the deities of Radha and Krishna and also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which Radha Dasi and Jitambara Prabhu also have on their altar. So you can see that the hand of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is up, and Krishna's hand is a little bit up as he's playing the flute. So that's to show that they're also saying the same thing, but they're the source. Those personalities on the altar, they're the source of the Paramatma, or the super soul in every atom and in everybody's heart. And they're also the source of their manifestation, the spiritual master, who looks like a human being, but he isn't. So I hope you'll all be going to Kona in a few days to see that very person who is the manifestation of Krishna himself. So our whole relationship with Krishna, not only in the beginning of our Krishna consciousness, but as we develop and even when we become perfect, our whole relationship with Krishna depends upon our relationship with our spiritual master. So with these material bodies, it's difficult sometimes to follow instructions like no smoking, no drinking, no illicit sex, no gambling, no going to movies, no eating things that aren't offered to Krishna. They're hard to do, but they become easy when we think of all these things philosophically and what we'll be gaining by giving up these very tiny, nothing, grungy things. Like, for example, suppose a girl likes a boy, and the boy has a good shape, and she's a big fat barrel. And she wants to attract him, but she can't because she's a big fat barrel. So she goes on a starvation diet. And she's happy to do it. She doesn't experience the austerities, but she's just thinking, I have to get that boy. So if we think of the goal and the value of what we have by giving up the grungy things, then it's much easier to do. Okay. Next. Now this is also very interesting because it's about that same super soul. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that there are two birds. Well, actually it's in the purport of the Gita, that there are two birds living in the same tree. One bird represents us, the tiny super soul, the size of us is not 5 feet or 6 feet or 4 feet, but it's 1/10,000th the upper tip of the hair. That's the size of the soul. And we are in the body, crazily going after the fruits of the body. You can see that wild bird, that's us. He's like grabbing at the fruits, trying to get some sweet fruits, which are sometimes appear to be sweet, but then he goes for the next bite and he hits a bitter one. So that's compared to, you see that guy down there in the circle? He wants this girl, but she doesn't want him, so he's grabbing her and she's trying to resist him, and they're having this big struggle. And in the meantime, there's that other bird, the very beautiful friend bird, who's not only with us, the soul, in this particular body, but he's been with us in innumerable millions of bodies. When we were aardvarks, cockroaches, snakes, elephants, demigods, kings and queens. He's been with us in every body, just waiting for us to turn to him. So you see that bird, that friendly bird, who's looking at the crazed bird, is down there in the circle as the super soul saying, you're looking for happiness, but you're finding so many sour fruits. And you must find sour fruits because you're looking in a place that's not really real. You're looking in gross matter and your spirit soul. Gross matter is pus, blood, stool, urine, and you are Satchidananda, eternal, full of bliss and knowledge. So just turn to me and I'll give you everything you want. So that same super soul is manifest as Guru. He's internally manifest as the super soul and externally manifest as the super soul, as the spiritual master. Okay, next. And here shows the ludicrousness of us doing anything but taking full shelter of the spiritual master. When we get initiated by the spiritual master, Prabhupada explained that the word initiate means to begin. So it means we're beginning our spiritual life, not that, oh, now I'm initiated, now I'm liberated, I'm free. But initiate means to begin. So here's, like Amy said, from where I am now. Okay, so here's where we are now. You see that circle? At least that's where I am. I don't know where everybody else is. See that circle on top? The lady is cleaning the birdcage, but she's so absorbed, and it's a beautiful birdcage too, it's golden. She's totally absorbed in cleaning the birdcage, but she's forgetting to feed the bird inside. So what happens? If you can see, I don't know how close you can see the picture, but the bird is dead. He's suffered, but she's just absorbed in the cage, so the bird just died in misery. Similarly, we are fully absorbed in taking care of the body, and there's two kinds of bodies actually. The gross body, made of pus, blood, stool, and urine, bodily hairs, and the subtle body, made of mind, intelligence, and false ego, which is thinking that I am this gross body, and everything in relation to this gross body, pus and blood, is mine. As Prabhupada once said, I went with him to a university engagement at Boston University, back before I think most of you were born, in 1969. And there he was telling the students that this body, which you are soaping so nicely, will turn into three things after you die. One of them is, depending on your religion, one of them is ashes, one of them is stool, and one of them is dust. If you're a Christian, then it turns into dust. Dust thou wert, dust thou beest. If you're a Hindu, then they burn you and it turns into ashes. And if you're a Parsi, they just throw your body in the street and it gets eaten by the dogs and then it turns into their sword. So this body which you're soaping so nicely turns into these three things. So you can see this king, he has everything. One of his servants is fanning him. One of his servants is feeding him peeled grapes, not just grapes, but peeled grapes. And the king is full of anxiety because his real self isn't being taken care of. So the spiritual master teaches us how to take care of our real self and feed the bird inside the cage. Okay. And here we are, again, regarding Amy's question, from where we are to where we want to be. Here we are down under the clouds of the three modes of nature. Now one of those guys down there, he thinks I'm the boss. He has the cane and he's ordering the other guy, you're not working hard enough. And the other guy, who is the worker, bent over, he's saying, oh, please don't fire me. Or he's saying, please give me a raise, see how hard I'm working. And they both think that they're independent. But actually, they're not the controllers at all. They're puppets, as you can see. The strings are going to the three modes of nature. One is ignorance. Ignorance means putting off everything that I should be doing now. Following vows, not following vows. Eating all kinds of abominable things. Smoking, drinking, eating meat, fish, eggs. And not only that, even eating good things, healthy things, that aren't offered to Krishna. Because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, should be done as a sacrifice for me. Otherwise, worth buying points in the material world. And he says, if you offer me with love and devotion a leaf, a fruit, a flower, and some water, then I will accept and eat it. And one who eats foods that are not first offered in sacrifice, he is verily eating only sin. So it looks like somebody's so nice and they're helping somebody else. Or it looks like somebody's serving their friends very, mode of goodness, fruits and vegetables, organic. But if it's not offered to Krishna in the proper way, not that, well, Krishna's everywhere and everything, so I'll just say, hey, it's offered. And in fact, the fruit's also Krishna, so it's all Krishna. But actually offered in the proper way, with the proper mantras and proper mood under proper guidance. First, it's not even that we can even offer anything to Krishna because Krishna is so far away in Goloka Vrindavan. Right here, it looks like Krishna's on the altar. And he is. But the altar is not here. The altar is in Goloka Vrindavan. And our Gurudev, he can take our boga means unoffered food, and bring it all the way there to Goloka Vrindavan because he's there. And he can offer it. So offering it in the proper way, then we become free from the reaction. So what is the reaction? If the food isn't offered, then I have to suffer the result of hurting another living entity and eating another living entity. Of course, I'm not eating their soul, I'm eating their body, but I've had to make somebody suffer in order to enjoy. But if I offer it first to Krishna, then he takes the reaction, there's no reaction, and two good things happen. One, we become free from all of our past karma and present karma. That means we become free from birth, old age, disease, disease, and death, and all the threefold miseries. Miseries caused by the body, mind, other living entities, and material nature. Like somebody was saying, like me and Vasanti feel really hot here, because we just came from freezing India and freezing Frankfurt, freezing San Francisco. But you think, oh, it's really cold, I can't wait to get to Kona where it's going to be warm. So that's the misery caused by material nature. So, misery is caused by the body, misery is caused by the mind, either a loss or a fear of loss, or a fear of gaining something that I don't really want to gain. Misery is caused by other living entities, either my boss fires me, or a mosquito bites me and I get malaria. And misery is caused by material nature. So, that's one good thing that happens when properly offering my bhoga. And another thing that could happen is that I get to do good for others, because that soul that's in the fruit or vegetable or incense that I offer, you may say, well, what soul is in the incense? None is in the incense, but they're in the tree that made the incense, or the flower that made the incense. And even though the flower doesn't know, or the tree doesn't know, or the orange doesn't know that it's being offered, still Krishna has a whole system. He knows, and his accountants know, and they make that living being that's being offered come to a high stage where they can take a good birth for getting into devotional service. There's also, even when I throw out prasadam, and say I couldn't finish it, and I put it in the refrigerator and I forget it was there, so a week later I find it, because my refrigerator is so crowded, and I find this old thing, and it's moldy and everything frozen, so I throw it out. But even though I'm throwing it out, there are thousands and millions of insects and bacteria that are going to take that properly offered prasadam and get a higher birth for engaging in bhakti. So therefore, even when we throw out prasadam, it's an act of love and devotion, because we seem to be throwing it in the bin, in a garbage can, but we're throwing it with devotion that, here are you living entities, take some prasadam and become free from your past sins. So it's such a wonderful thing. Next. Huh? That's all the Gita? Oh, this is a terrible thing that happened. This is one of the pictures in the Bhagavad Gita. And actually there's two more. There's two men, these are the two men, and there's two ladies. Is that one here too? These are the two ladies. Here's the one lady, she wants to be free. She doesn't want to be controlled by anybody. She doesn't want to follow rules and regulations. She wants to enjoy by her conception of enjoyment. So, as you can see, she puts herself on the cover of a nudie magazine, or she just goes out nudie and does all kinds of nudie things. And it's not that, the spiritual master wants to control for the sake of controlling, but he's trying to protect us, like somebody's walking backwards towards the end of a cliff, and one more step they're going to go off. So if somebody says, hey, wait a minute, stop. It's not that he's trying to control or he's trying to say, you better do what I say. The thing is, if we don't do what Shastra says, and we don't do what Guru says, there's a thing called the law of nature, where as you sow, you shall reap. So look at this poor lady. You can see on one side, she's like, in a certain position on the cover of the nudie magazine, and look at her in her next life. She's a tree in the same position. And you can see that by her consciousness, she has a girl's face on one side of her, but by her consciousness, living not like a human chaste lady, but like a tree, because the tree's the one that stands naked, not human, she became a tree. And then the same lady below, she likes to sleep 15 hours a day, and dream about all kinds of sense gratification. And even her day is like sleeping, because she's just like absorbed in all kinds of Maya's activities. So on one side she's a human, but she's developing the consciousness of a bear. So the next life, she becomes a bear, so she can sleep for 6 months out of the year. And then back to the man. Because it's not that we're against ladies. Here goes the man. He has no discrimination in what he eats. The top man, he's eating meat. And eating meat is not the business of a human being, it's the business of a tiger. So he's barbecuing, he's thinking that he's having a lot of fun. There's only one life. And it's meant for, as there's one atheistic philosopher named Sharvak Muni, beg, borrow, or steal, but get thee, because there's no other life. Get thee if you have to beg, borrow, or steal. If you can enjoy the food, you can make a lot of tasty preparations. So then what happens in his next life? You can see his mind is becoming like that of a tiger. In his next life, it goes full. He became a tiger. Otherwise, where do all the tigers come from? Where do all the pigs come from? This guy below, he's eating lobsters and absolutely no discrimination. Cake with eggs in it. And what happens? He becomes the animal that has the least amount of discrimination in eating. That is the pig. He's eating up to the point of stool. Okay, next. If you want to interrupt with questions at any time, feel free. Now, here's where we are now. You see there's a film strip, and in each frame, the man looks a little tiny bit different because he's running. And when seen consecutively on one screen, you can see that the man is running. But when seen in each frame, it looks like different pictures. Similarly, it looks like we have one body that's moving and growing, but actually we have an infinite number of bodies. Just like, can anybody here raise your hand and tell me what I said 3 minutes ago? Can anyone?
There's 2 birds.
That was 7 minutes ago.
He's on the new magazine.
Huh?
Exposure magazine.
That's good. So even though you can remember, you got to dredge your memory to like remember. So what to speak of for longer amounts of time. And the reason that we forget is very simple, because we change our bodies at every second. So on a longer term level, even the scientists say that we have a totally different body after every 7 years. And what to speak of when everybody knows that they're dying and getting a new body, we totally forget. So that's where we are now. It's called transmigration. Depending upon our present activities, I may be able to escape state law or government law, but I can't escape God's law. Even if I just step on an ant, I don't even know I'm stepping on an ant. Let's see if I know. Or sometimes you find people, like there's a mosquito around, and you go, you kill the mosquito. But they don't know that they have to become a mosquito and get squashed like that too. There's one story about one sage who had some robbers hiding out in his house. And then the police came. This is many thousands of years ago, it's in the scriptures. The police came and found the thieves in his house. But they also thought that he must have been one of them, otherwise how could they hide out in his house? So they captured him, and they were just about to put him on it's called a tanga in India. They have a whole bunch of swords below the platform, and they throw you off the platform onto the swords. So they were just about to do that when it came to the king's attention that this is a great sage, and he was praying, kind of, or unrightfully arrested. So immediately he was, released. He said, "Why did you do that to me?" He asked, he prayed to Krishna, "Why did you do that to me?" Where I was almost stabbed like that. So the Lord revealed that when you were a child, you were very mischievous, and you stabbed a little insect kind of thing. Huh? With a blade of grass, and so you would have just been killed altogether, but because you became a sage, it was minimized. So in that way, that's where we are now, and where we have to get is some very beautiful place that we'll speak about in a few minutes. Okay, next. Pakistan. Now we'll try to go a little faster.
So many. Wait, there's so many.
Okay. And then we'll try to go, I'll just say a couple of words about each one. This is Lord Brahma who's the creator of all of the bodies and the beings in all the universes. And now he's creating Lord Shiva. You know, there's a Shiva temple around here. So he's giving birth to Lord Shiva now, who immediately, as soon as he was born, began destroying the universe. And Brahma said, wait a minute, this is the time of creation. Just sit and meditate. So a lot of people worship Lord Shiva as the god of destruction, or thinking, well, Lord Shiva smoked ganja, so I can too. But he also drank an ocean of poison without getting hurt. So we can't imitate him on one way and not get the results, the bad results. If we're like him and we're so powerful that we can also drink an ocean of poison, then we can also do other things. So the highest form of Lord Shiva is called Gopishwara Mahadev. Gopishwara means that the highest form of Lord Shiva is as a gopi. And this gopi is like the guard of Krishna's Rasa Leela dance. Can I ask for a show of hands, how many of you devotees are connected to Lord Shiva or feel connected to him? Only one. Okay, I'll quickly tell the story that Lord Shiva wanted to join the Rasa dance of Radha and Krishna. So, Yogamaya, Krishna's desired potency, appeared to him and said, have you done any austerities for this? And he said, no, I haven't. She said, okay, well, I'll help you with this. So she took him to Ramakund, was it? And dumped him in the water, and he came out looking like a gopi. And then he was hiding in a bush and watching Krishna's Rasa dance. And Radha and Krishna and the gopis were thinking, something's wrong, we're not feeling as happy, as ecstatic as we usually do. So they were looking around, there must be some outsider here. So then they saw this gopi, and they said, who are you? Who are you